Alright, this is the start of my tutorial on how to make VRChat models. Now, I'm sorry if I sound a bit hoarse, my throat hurts like it's fucking horrible. And this is a tutorial for mainly if you haven't really made them before and you just don't know where to start. I'm going to put all the links in the description you'll need. I'll make sure you know where everything's at and what programs you're going to need. Now, I'm going to start with programs. You're going to need Blender. You're going to need Unity. And it has to be Unity 5.6.3 P1. Now I'm going to put links to that as well in the description. And most importantly, you're going to need a model to start with. Now, the models I'm showing you how to use are MMD, and those are usually PMD or PMX files, and we're going to turn those into Unity files. It's not as hard as it looks, and I'm going to try to make it easy. So, first things first, you need to download Blender. It's a 3D program. If you already have it, great. If you don't, go ahead and download it. It's free, and it's super easy to get a hold of. It's just you just look up Blender. It's there. I think it's even on the Steam store if you want to try to download it that way. But on top of that, you're going to need things called Blender plugins. Now, Blender plugins, if you look over here, there's a bunch of different tools. And these tools allow you to, they're tools that allow you to do different things. And so, this is one plugin you need. It's called MMD Tools. And then cats. Now these both let you work with models and let you manipulate them and get them ready so that VRChat can understand what to do with them and how they're rigged properly and everything. So I want to show you where to get those at. The first thing you want to get is MMD tools, and that would be here. And I'll have a link to it. But if you don't want to click the link, I don't know why you want it. If you're trying to find it later on, maybe a different machine or something, you can't find the video, just MMD underscore tools, and it's this right here. And this allows you to take the MMD models and pull them into Blender, and otherwise you can't really bring them in. And the other one you're going to need is cats. Now cats is a magic wand of sorts to add these models in, and it makes everything easy. Like before, it would take like up to an hour or more for a model to be made, and this shortens it to maybe like 30 minutes for the whole process, maybe less. It depends. Since I'm talking and I'm kind of hoarse and I'm kind of mixed up, it's going to take a little bit longer and take some time. But basically, we're going to open up Blender. Now we don't want this crap in the background. This is what Blender starts up with. You quick run out of Blender. Right click to select things. Left click is this I forgot what the cursor is. It does something, and you never use it unless you're like doing animations. So right click, we're gonna hit A, that unselects everything. Hit A again, it selects all, and then you want to hit the delete key and enter, or X depending. It's a lot of shortcuts, you might want to use them. So we're gonna want to add these plugins. After you download them, you would pull them up from your download folder. So you'll find where you downloaded them. I typically put them on the, good Jesus Christ, too much downloads. I usually put them on the desktop because if it's easier to find them, but you might want to put them in a better folder and not organized like me. You see how fucking terrible that is. So go to File, you want to go to User Preferences, and this is on the Cat's website too if you want to follow that. It's a nice little GIF. Now you'll see all this. So let's say we need to put in MMD tools. You would hit MMD, and see this pops up, and for you it's going to be unchecked and probably grayed out, and forget that. It's install add-on from file, so you click on this, and then you would go to wherever you downloaded that and you click on it and click install add-on from file. Then after you do that, it would pop up this would be the way it is now, and you would just type in whatever it's called, the tool is called. For some reason I think my D is fucked up because it's not working. You find it, it's going to be grayed out. You're going to want to make sure you hit that check mark, otherwise it will not come up. It won't work if you do not check it. That tells Blender that it's allowed to use that plugin. And it's the exact thing for cats. You would go in there, you would click on install it from file, it would pop in, and you would just search cat. There it is right there. You would search cats. But you see how these ones are grayed out? This means I have not allowed it, and see now it's allowed, but we don't need that right now, so we're not going to bother with that. Again, I'm sorry for my voice. Fucking, my throat feels like someone just got a knife in there and just spinning it around, having a good old time. Now let's talk about what models you can import. Main models that you will use are called MMD models. Now you can use regular 3D models, but this isn't what this tutorial is about. Those are a whole different process. So you take, let's look at the one we're going to do here. Let's make a, I already have a Miki. Let's make a Nano Gumi. So this is a Vocaloid, and you'll see you have a PMD, README, textures. PMD is your file you care about. It's what makes the model there. And the textures, you gotta put those in Unity, but we'll talk about that later. So, to open these, you have to have both these plugins, or you can't do it. And you would go to Cats, you'd click on Import Model, then you would go to wherever you have it at. Just let me find Models, and then find Nano Pack, and then Gumi. And then you see this, you just double click it, and it loads in. Now you see it's gray. It looks like shit. It takes you have to go over here, and it's hidden. You see this little plus sign right here? Click on that, pops open, and now you have a whole bunch more options. You want to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you want to click on shadeless. Now this lets your colors come in, and it makes it look much better. So now you have this little model, and the next part you need to do is, if you hold down Alt and then hit H, it unhides everything. Luckily, this one didn't come in with its rigging. I think it may have just imported that on accident. But typically, you'll have a bunch of, just to show you, I'll open another one, because I want to show you one that's fucked up, because you need to know. So let's look at models. For one, let me open a model you cannot use. This would be a model that will not work. Fucking hell, where'd it go? There it is. So, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? I'm retarded. I clicked on the wrong thing. Alright, import model. We go to models. If I can find it. Jesus Christ. This is why you should organize things like me. I don't have anything where you should actually put it. Everything's kind of pretty, just mixed together, and it degrades my sanity. So you see this character, it looks nice, but you know, just gray. Amorphous blob. So we're going to click on shadeless, and now it's pink. There's a weird shadow issue, but that's actually part of the model. This is caused when somebody doesn't know how to make mouse in MUD, and the mouth gets all fucked up. It's usually custom models where someone will take two models and make one out of it, and they don't know what they're doing. So that's one big problem you'd have. Your voice to mouse sync wouldn't work, your Visemes, and also you can't see the lips unless you go from the side. I have a model that's like that, that's pre-made, and you could fix it, retexture it. That would fix it, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. It's a texture problem. But if you look up here, when you open a model and you're saying, well, I really like this model, what model do I want to use? And you open it and you want to start. The first thing you do before you start the process is look at these. These are your polygons, your tries. Now there's a limit on VRChat of 20,000. It's actually 19,999. But try getting 106,000 on 19,000. That's pretty insane. It's undoable, because you would destroy the model to the point where you cannot import it. Like it just won't work. So but to show you what I meant by the fucked up shit, you see all this extra bullcrap that just came out of there? It's just incomprehensible, just everything. Now this can bring your polygon count. So if it says like 40 or 50, sometimes you can delete this and it'll jump down to like 30, and that's easily manageable. So to hide things, you want to right click a bone on the skeleton, usually they're right here on the hands or on the head or anywhere, and you want to hit H to hide it so you don't mess with it. And you want to right click on the hand, usually it's sticking out, or any piece of skin that's sticking out from this mess, and hit H. Now you have all this. This is called these are rigid bodies, and these are what MMD and some other stuff. That's what MMD uses to to be able to move the characters. It's just the way it works. VRChat doesn't use these at all. So we're gonna hit B, which gives you a box select tool, and you want to go over it, select everything, hit delete, enter. It's gone. Our polys just went down to 19,000. So if we wanted to, we could actually use this model, because like once again I did Alt H to unhide this. This model can be used, and the face is messed up, but I know a quick fix for that if you don't want to add a mouth. Pretty sure I do anyway. So we're just gonna go with this model for now. Might as well, you know. It's a simple model. We're gonna use it. It is missing a piece of its hair. What is going? Oh my god, this model's so broken. It's okay. If you see these bones, these are hair bones, and I think what they did is they used a Hatsune Miku and base. That's what it looks like, base model, and they added a bunch of BS to it to make it a different character. And now it looks like this. People use this base Miku model for a lot of things, and all of them have this fucked up facial structure when you import it. I have no idea what it's for. But if we hide the body, it's enough complaining. Hide the body. Look at all these bones. This is insane. There's so many bones. It's too many bones. You see all this shit. How are you gonna walk with that? It's too much. And VRChat also thinks it's too much. And if you try to put it in Unity, Unity thinks it's too much, and it doesn't know what the hell to do. So to fix it, there's this handy button over here where you click Fix Model. Now everything's came back. So you want to hide this. That skeleton looks much better. Now, you might encounter some issues. This is more of a basic tutorial, so I'm not going to go into the details when it comes to aligning your spine and stuff. But this bone, let's go over bones real quick. This bone is your hip bone. This connects to it's where your pelvis would be. This is your hip bone. You need 3 bones in a row right here to even work with VRChat, because Unity, to upload it in Unity, you have to have. So here's your hip bone. This is your spine bone, and this is your chest bone. These are very important, and if you do not rig them up, then this is your neck bone. If you do not rig them up properly, it will not let you upload it. And, that's a problem. So, it's fixed now. Now, you may notice, if you look over here, and you look at, this is armature. This is where all the bones are. And you would click on this to see them. They changed names of them, surprisingly. I thought it wouldn't, but you notice that if we start looking around, oh no, it actually fixed everything. Well, fuck. Well, I didn't show you that. Okay, well, typically, this stuff right here, all that stuff is in, like, Japanese or Chinese or some other language, and that's a pain in the ass. So, you go down the translations. And let me see, can I pull up shape keys, maybe? Where's shape keys? They're here, aren't they? Oh, I lost them. Fuck. Shape keys. Shape keys are they tell a thing how to move. It's the meshes. So you see like mouse moving and stuff. That's part of shape keys. And I'm trying to find it, and I'm failing horribly because I'm terrible. And you should be better than me. For the love of Christ, please. Please be better than me. Don't be this bad. It's kind of embarrassing how bad I am at making videos. What the fuck are the shape keys? Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? Actually, you know why I can't find shape keys? It's because I'm retarded. It's probably because I don't have that selected. I have the skeleton selected. So now let's go back to this and look for shape keys. There's a pose library. That's not what we're looking for. Skeleton. Oh my god. Okay, you see this? This is all empty. These are supposed to be your materials. There's nothing here right now. And that's because they're all in another language, or they're unnamed, which is another problem. But you see this translation tab? Basically, you're going to click on shape keys. This will translate everything. Before this, you had to go into a separate program. You had to copy and paste in the Google Translate, and you had to bring it back, and it took a long time. But now, the bones are already translated, so you don't have to worry about those. But the mesh and materials. And yeah, these seem to be just... Yeah, they just seem to be unnamed, or... This is environment. We don't care about world. We need... It should be here. Why can't I find shape keys when, like, the one time I need it? Oh, I think they're here. Yeah, here's shape keys. I'm retarded, so these will tell you. These will tell you what they do. If the names are in Japanese, you won't even know. So let's say you go to shaken, you can actually change it, and you see how her eyebrows move. Oh, I guess I should go over movement real quick. I mean, I should have done that earlier in the video, but everything's done with the middle mouse button, and if you hold Shift, it lets you pan, and middle mouse button lets you do that. So, and you scroll it to zoom. So if you go to her face, her extremely broken and weird face, This one's called shaken, and it just makes her look pissed off. And I think that's, under is on, parallel. It's just, it moves her eyes and stuff like that. And so it lets you mess around with stuff like that. And that's what shape keys are. You have to delete these if you do any sort of editing to these zones, which you shouldn't, like, for real. Like, just should leave it alone. But the thing I said about no mouth, her jaw moves, but there's no mouth there. There's no, like, actual opening or mesh for it or whatever. It's, if you zoom in, it's, like, really fucked up looking. It's just, I think there's technically a mouth there, but it's just messed up. Like, it's so fucked. It's just weird. I think it's underneath of a layer, and then they meshed it together, and oh boy. Alright, so this model has the right number of faces, but let's say your model didn't. Let's say your model had, I don't know, 50 too many. Let's say you're just barely scraping by. You need to get rid of something, or you need to decimate. Those are two different things, and I'll show you what they both are. Now, getting rid of stuff is super easy. If you click on this, you'll notice we select the entire model. We don't want that. You select the whole entire model and you hit delete, well, it's going to delete the whole thing. So, you make sure you have it selected. You click over here, and you click this, let me span this so you can see. It says separate by materials. Click on that. Let it work for a second. That was actually really quick. Hit A to deselect everything, and now, if I select the bikini top, and I hit hide, it's, oh, Jesus Christ. It hides just the bikini top. I didn't think they'd be separated or anything. And there's these frills. You can hide those. Hide those frills. Hide the bottom. Hide. Now, if you look, there's texture here and texture here that nobody's ever going to see because there's clothes on it. This was a base model they added clothes to, and so that adds unnecessary polygons. You can delete those, but we're not going to do that. That's too much work. We're actually going to unhide that and find what this is connected to. This bracelet is part of the bikini top. Don't ask me why, it just is. Now, when you're looking for stuff to delete, you might say, well, I really like this bracelet. How many does it have? You make sure it's selected, and you hit tab, and that'll tell you how many polygons that whole group has. And if you look up here, you look at tries, it's for the top and for this bracelet, it is 1,800. No, it's 1,100 polys, which is a lot. So let's say, okay, well, screw the bracelet, we'll get rid of that. We don't need the bracelet. But if I was to just delete it this way, you wouldn't have a top anymore, and you'd probably get banned. So you want to do this. You got to right click it, a point on what you want to delete, and you want to hit down Control and then L. Are you fucking kidding me? And it won't work because this model is fucking retarded. So you see it's selected about half of it. If you hit delete right now, you actually hit delete, and you want to click on vertices. And what is going on? There we go. So it deleted part of it. This one's in a weird bunch sort of thing where it doesn't want to select the whole thing, so you have to do it in pieces. Basically, oh my god. I swear to God. Sometimes this stuff is so difficult. I didn't make this model myself, so I don't know exactly what's going on with it, but whoever did, they shouldn't. At least not for VRChat, because Jesus Christ. So, I mean, you just have to do this for a while until it goes away. Usually, you go to delete something, and it just works the first time. But for some reason, this one is in a bunch of different parts, and so I have to delete it like 100 different ways. But it's Control L, the delete key on your keyboard, and then vertices. I'll just hit enter there to make it faster. Alright, it's gone. Now, if you look, we still have tab open, so we're seeing this. That went down from 1100 to 682. That's quite a big drop if you think about it. So, that gets rid of the bracelet, so you know, you might not like it, but it doesn't look bad. It's still the same model. Hit tab. Now you're out of that editing view. And let's say that's the only editing we need to do for that. But let's say, oh, well, there's nothing left we can delete. We can't delete anything else, you know. There's nothing there. So, now, there's a couple rules. This is called decimation, and you do not want to do it on the body. Okay? If you do it on the body, you see how these joints here are, like, super complex compared to everything else. Like these are pretty normal. Then you have a bunch right here, and on the wrist, and then the fingers, especially. Those allow it to bend. And if you start decimating the body, you run into problems where, well, the body just won't bend properly, and you walk around and you'll look like a Roblox character. And I'm pretty sure that's not what you're going for. If you are, go for it. Does this thing have individual bone toes? One second. Okay, no, it doesn't. I was about to say, if it had individual bone toes, that would be ridiculous. It's kind of creepy looking, actually. But we need to decimate something. The only thing here, really, is the hair. Now, hair usually tends to be really complicated. So if we just look at this big chunk of front hair right here, that's only 298. That's pretty good. We look at this long piece of hair right here. That's 1900. So let's go ahead and decimate this a bit. Now, you can't go too far with certain parts of the hair. Like, this is really long and curved. And if you delete the whole thing, it's just going to be like... Yeah, this is definitely a Miku model. Look at this. The laziness. But, fuck it. This is the model we've already worked on. I'm not going to change it now. So, you see this whole hair? It's... Jesus Christ. 1920. So we're going to do decimation. Now, you have to go over here. You want to click on this little wrench. And you want to just delete this. You don't want to accidentally mess with that and just screw up your whole thing. So, click on Add Modifier. And we're going to go over to the group Generate. And we're going to go down to Decimate. And that pops up this. Now, you have a slider you can play with. If you turn it all the way down, well, you have to hit tab. If you have your wireframe view open, it will not work. You have to be in this mode. You have to be in object mode, not edit mode. You can also change those down here instead of hitting tab. But it's easier to hit tab and just switch back and forth. Now, if we turn that all the way down, this is not quite the effect we're looking for. I mean, now it's only it's probably only using about 6 polys. Yeah, because it went down to 17,000, and then at max it's at 19. So we lose about 2,500 polys, but it looks like garbage. So you have to find that fine line between garbage and good looks. So we must start and go, and you see it to go a little bit. And let's say you could deal with that, right? That's 18,000. That's pretty good. Let's say that's good enough for you. And it doesn't look terrible. It's a little bit, lower quality. But when you're running around and it's going to be flopping around and stuff, or, just if you just... No one's going to really care. It's you, If you like it, then go ahead. This model was actually under the amount beforehand, so we could have left it the way it was. But for the sake of this being a tutorial, I got to teach you how to decimate. And, okay, I get this error. It says, modifier cannot be applied to a mesh with shape keys. Since I was telling you earlier, it has shape keys. Everything has a shape key. So we had to get rid of this shape key. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that's selected. Go to Armature. Scroll down to Materials. And you'll see this one is highlighted. That means it's the one we're on. So you're going to hit plus. Now, the shape key is, if you look at the right, you'll see there's all this shit under here. That means it's hidden under this layer. So when you open it, it pops up. So you can actually see what's there. And if you look at this one, you'll see there's a shape and a key. That's a shape key. So you hit plus, and there it is. You're going to want to right-click it and go to delete. It's gone. Now, that's not important on hair because it doesn't actually have anything it does for a shape key. But, you can't change it to there. So now you hit apply, and it's done. There you go. It's applied. Now we're at 18,000 things. Now, the something you have to remember is we just cut this into a bunch of different pieces. If you were to put this in a Unity, you would get so many different textures and pieces. It would look ridiculous. And if you put this in a VRChat, it would probably cause fucking the apocalypse or something. It would be ridiculous. So, no. We're not going to be assholes like that. And we're going to go over to join meshes. Now, this undoes separate materials, essentially. It takes all the meshes and makes them one. Now, if you're working on materials and then you click Fix Model, it'll actually do that for you. And so you have to remember to separate it again before you start editing. But we're going to hit Join Meshes. Now, it's all one mesh again. So if we hit this, we can hide that. Click this. We can move her around. And she's all one. Because if I right-click her and hit H, hit H, she just disappears. So, perfect. And, oh god, what have I done? So I just moved it from the skeleton somehow. And that's never happened before, so I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna... There we go. That's probably good enough. She needs to be a little bit more backwards, doesn't she? Yeah. Alright, that's probably good enough for our purposes. I sure hope it is. Anyway, we're done. This is all we have to do. Now you're going to do is save a Blender file. You do File, Save As, or Save if you haven't made a save yet. And I tend to put these in the folder they came from. So I want to put it above this one in the main folder. So I'm just going to type this. Tutorial. And this is kind of important because this name isn't that important as the export file. I'm going to hit save. Now, to make this work in Unity, we have to do File, Export, FBX. And the biggest problem with this is you need to go over here and look at this. Basically, this stays the same as when it started out. You leave that all alone. But you want to hit this button right here, Geometry. It says Apply Modifiers and stuff. You want to unclick that. Unclick everything. Nothing should be turned on over here. So you turn off Baked Animation, it turns everything off. You shouldn't have any of that. You don't need it. I don't know exactly what it does, but whatever it is, you don't need it, so don't use it. And the name of this will turn out to be the name of your character. So, if you want your character to be named something, or your avatar, you better change this name. I want to name this, I'm just going to keep it tutorial. Caps lock's on, but whatever. I want to export. And now we have it as FBX. We're done with Blender. And if you want, you can go ahead and close it. Oh, real quick, I want to show you something. Because sometimes there'll be like a bone, 2 sets of bones popping up here. So let's pretend these bones, we don't need them. You want to first hide the body. So it's out of your... That's the skeleton. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Alright, well... Would you look at that? We done goofed again. It's okay, we already have a saved file, so let's pretend that didn't happen, because we already have a save. So hit H. Now, you see the skeleton? Let's pretend we didn't need these toe bones. You would hit... To edit the skeleton, you want to hit Tab. And you can see now it looks like when we were editing before. We really don't need this extra... Oh, we got rid of the extra hair bones. Cool. Alright, so... You want to hit this, and you can hold down Control... And that's... Okay, that sucks everything. Unlike the rest of the entire fucking computer space. Hold this, and then hold down Shift, and right-click that. Now they're both selected, and you're going to want to hit here and click Mix Weights. Now this will delete those bones, and the weight, every bone has a weight, and this is important to keep it balanced. It'll take those weights and mix them with the bones that it's part of, the tree, to make sure that it doesn't make any weird weightless problems. So we're going to close this. We don't want to save anything, we just did. And I want to pull open Unity. Now, Unity, you have to use this version because this is the version VRChat uses. And if you look up here, it's going to say PC, Mac, and Linux standalone DX11. If it doesn't, there's a tutorial about that on the VRChat website. And Unity 5.6.3p1 is just the version, and that's the version we need. Now, 6432 depends on the computer you have, but you want to make sure everything's correct with that. Otherwise, you'll be fucked. So we're gonna take. This is a new scene. It opens with like the sun and the cloud and stuff in here. I'll just kind of like move those out of the way because I call the camera a cloud. Oh, Jesus Christ! But so this is your workspace in Unity now. This looks really complicated. If this is your first time, you won't have anything down here. But the very first steps you want to do is right-click, go to Create, Folder. You see this new folder? You want to name this the name of your character, just to keep things organized. So, Tutorial. Click. Now it's there. Double tap. Folder is empty. You want to create another folder. And this one's called Textures. Now, what this part of the folder is for, I don't know. We don't really use it. But you go to, I think it just dumps stuff there. But you go to Textures, and the very first thing you need to do is go back to wherever your model is. This is one reason we put everything in one area, so it's easier to find. Click on it, and you see all these pictures that we have here. All these random pictures that you might need. You're going to want to put every one of these. Not that, but I don't know what SPA is, so we're not going to put that in there. Spanish speak. Oh, they could be Visemes. Alright, so I'm going to click all that. I'm going to just drag it into here. And now, on top of that, we can put this Unity file. Alright, close this. And now we have it done. Now, do not put this here yet. You may have seen people where you can just drag it on, but it's not time for that. One thing, I'll show you about Visemes at the end of the video, because I might as well include those. It's really easy with cats. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't show you Visemes at all. But we're going to click on this, and if you look, you'll see you have animation type generic. This has to be humanoid, unless you're like really good at coding and you code your own animations for this model. Otherwise, it's not going to work properly. So this has to be humanoid. You want this to say create from this model, and you just want to hit configure. Now this is going to say save. It wants you to save it beforehand, so I'll just put in something random. But you want to make sure you can, don't do what I do, put in an actual name for it. Oh, I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm just gonna put in tutorial. Open the file instead of making a save file. Are you gonna fucking save or what? Jesus Christ, just save. Oh my God, fucking, what's her name? Here, let's. Are you fucking kidding me? I guess that worked. I guess it was just maybe lagging. Unapplied import settings. This is the import settings for importing just random shit. I just hit apply every time. And you'll notice there's a bunch of shit attached to your model, and your model's sitting here. She's clear, and she has a bunch of bones in her. Now these are all green because Unity can pretty well auto map things. There's some things it doesn't get quite right. Like you want to look here, you see there's no chest. You have to have chest. Like I said earlier, you have to have it. If you look over here, now this can be on the right side. I have it on the left side. I don't know how you change it, but you have your spine, you have your chest. Oh, there's breastbone, so you can make jiggly breasts. There you go. So you want to hit the chest. And you don't want to, like, if you're trying to drag something, you don't really want to click on it. You can just drag it like that. So later on, that's more important. We're going to drag chest over to where it says chest and just let go. And now it's connected. You see it turned green. Now you want to go through, and then here are the ones you need. You need hip, spine, chest. You have to have all of these, all of these, all of these, and all these. You don't have to have toes, but since we have toes, they're just not showing up for some reason. You go down to your right ankle, which isn't attached to anything, is it? Oh, it is. What happened to the toes? Our toes have disappeared. That's no good. Well, it's not super important. You see, that means it's optional when it's grayed out. But shoulders are not optional, and chest, no, never use upper chest. If you put this in upper chest, all sorts of fucked up happens. So don't do that. Now we're gonna go to head, and another one you need is neck. If you don't have a neck, it won't let you upload it. You can make a bare bones model with just neck and like the basic stuff, but if you don't have a neck, it's gonna tell you it's just a problem. Some characters don't have neck bones. That's what cats fixes. It sets up all your bones properly and re-rigs them. So when you're done checking all your stuff, making sure everything goes to the right place, making sure everything's clean and proper, you hit apply for all the bones that you changed, and then you hit done. Now it's time to pull this into the world. First thing you want to, oh my God, look at her face. What the, why can't I move very fast? There we go. Oh my, Jesus Christ. Okay. We're going to attempt to fix that, but I don't know. Miracle God might fix that. Put 0 in all these fields. This is your motion. This centers it and puts it on the ground. And make sure it's in the right place for when you're just creating it. Just makes it better. Now, she's clear. That's a problem. We're going to go to, remember how we made this materials folder? Oh, we didn't make that. That made itself. Click materials, and you see all these materials. These are what makes up her. And they all have a shader on them. So we're going to click that, hold down shift, and not fuck up like me and misclick. So now you have all of them selected. You go over here, rendering mode, you want to hit opaque. I mean, she's not see-through. Now she still looks... Jeez, why does she look like a panda? I don't... Okay, well this is the standard shader anyway. I'm going to put a download to cube shaders. These are just good ones for anime characters and any like toon character. It just makes them look good. I hate that. Already looks better. But you know, it's just these fucking horrible black blotches here. I don't know what's going on with that. But we're gonna find. Let's see, we got material 15, material 11, and Huku 3W. I'm gonna assume Huku 3W. Let's see. Let's assume Huku 3W is the black spots we're seeing there. Oh, her face is white. Okay, material 13 is her face. There's nothing else white on her that's that white. So, you see this white color? This is a quick fix I do. It's not recommended, but you click on that, and then you click anywhere else, and it takes the color from there and puts it on there. But that was shadowed, so we kind of want to put it in a better place. There we go. So now it matches. Now the black, I don't know why it's so broken. Let's try material 11, see what happens. When oh, that's the area around her eye, so that's a good start. Material 15. Just fucking... Oh, that was her hair. Alright, well, we can fix that. Just do that. There we go. Now she has red streaks in her hair. It looks way better. So that means that is the big black splotches we're seeing. There. Look, she actually looks human again. What the fuck is going on with her face? Oh my god. Oh. It's not the color what I'm looking for. God, it's still not quite right. Let's just make that. What is ho-ho? That didn't change anything. What's material 12? Is that the rest of her face? I think it is. Okay, so whatever. We're gonna pretend that doesn't exist. I'm not entirely sure how to fix textures. You're gonna have to ask somebody else about that, because I just don't know that much about textures. I know basic fixing. If you can find the color that this is and match it to that, then go for it. It's I mean, maybe that's it. Let's try that real quick. Oh. Okay, I see what they did. It's the problem with what they've done is they've used the original Miku texture, but then like told it to use other textures. Now you see how many textures we have. Theoretically, you don't want to do this. If you have one that doesn't look like garbage because of the textures are fucked up, you can use the cat's tool to compress them. I'll show you how to do that as well. But wasn't her hair pink? You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. This model's all sorts of broken, but it's a good model for the tutorial. You can see some of the worst things that happen. I mean, it's not the worst. There's some fucked up bones and stuff, but you know that's good enough for me. Now, let's talk about the VRChat SDK. You need this. If you don't have it, you can't use it. You can't upload this. You can't make it ready. Nothing works, and that's a problem. So, to get the VRChat SDK, you gotta download it from their website. If you go to fucking VRChat avatars. No, I don't care about avatars. Jesus Christ, fuck off. Start remembering my search history in auto finishing. So you go to VRChat.net, and you want to go to not developer. You want to go to, where the fuck is it? Usually you log in. So I would hit login. There's my email. Please don't spam. And you have to have a VRChat account to be able to upload your avatars at all. So what I want to do is make sure you have one, and then you want to download the SDK, which is right here. It'll pop up down here. I would put it on my desktop. I have a folder for Unity files, and it looks like this. Now, to put it in Unity, You can't just click on it. It just opens Unity. You have to go to Assets, Import Package, Custom Package. And then, go to Desktop. You go to that Unity folder that I have. Right here. And you would click on it. And click, oh, not that. Click on it and click Open. Now, that's also how you get shaders. You do the exact same thing, and you would click Open, and it would give you shaders. Now, to get these, you guys, if you just, it's super easy to find. I want to have links to all this stuff so you can just get started super quick. But if you just searched cubed shaders, there they are. It's I want to have links to everything here. That's one reason I'm leaving it all open in the background. So, let's say we're done with all the editing. You're ready to put it in. Too bad you're not. You have to go to this. First of all, you have to go to this. You have to go to settings and make sure you're logged in. I'm logged in with my name. If I log out, I can actually log back in. So, do I have to use my password? I can't remember. I hope it doesn't show passwords. No, it doesn't. You sign in. It'll look like this. This tool does a couple things. I'll just give you an overview on it real quick. I don't know what that is. I don't touch it. Check for updates. This updates it. This is up to date. If you just downloaded it, it should be up to date. You know, if they update the game and it says we put out an update, you might want to click on that to make sure your stuff uploads. It actually works. Manage uploaded content lets you look at all the avatars that you've uploaded, and it allows you to delete them or copy their IDs. I don't know what copy ID does. I guess that allows you to download it, but so this lets you see all of them. My images are fucking terrible, but see everything that you've done, and you can get rid of them. You can make new ones. You can make sure that things are uploaded properly by looking at it. Now, if you look at clear cache and player prefs, don't do that unless you need to clear the cache and the player preferences. I don't know why you would need to, but let's say you do. You change something on accident, your game doesn't work. Try that. This is how you upload them. Now, if you look at this, we have one error. If it's yellow, it's a warning. If it's red, it's an error. The red means you cannot upload it. Yellow means it might have a problem. You might encounter issues. So if you want to make like a perfect model, let's say you're making for someone that someone's paying you for or something like that, you see one of those, you want to fix it. Unless it's the too many polys thing. So this is please add a scene descriptor. And that's part of the VRChat SDK. That's why you need it. So we're going to, first you have to click on her, make sure you have your model. And you want to click Add Component and search VRC. Now VRC is, this is all the stuff they have, but you want to do VRC Avatar Descriptor. And this lets you tell VRChat what this model is, what animations to use with it, how tall it is, where your voice comes out of, things like that. Now I'm going to put the Y on 1.58 because I know that is the height of Hatsune Miku because I just made a model for her last night. And the Z, you want to go ahead and make this 1 down here and leave X here. Now you see this little ball that's popped up? It's a little gray. This is your viewpoint. So since the camera only technically has one eye, you can't make two viewpoints of two eyes. And if you have a different size face than what they have, it would fuck it up. This is where your view comes from. So then the gray line here points in the direction the view is going towards. So, because that doesn't change when it goes in and out. If you look at this, we need to put it right there, roundabout, right between the eyes, so it looks right. And we're going to inset it inside the head to make it where you can it make your arms feel like they're your arms. Makes your view look more accurate when you're doing certain things, because it sees from inside the head. So we're going to make that ball go up. Not make the ball go up. That's where the ball needs to be in terms of height. We need to make her smaller. If you were to upload her the way she is, she would be like 27 feet tall. So we're going to go over here. Now this is, I didn't come up with this. This is, oh my god. This is what, there's a YouTuber called Tupper, and he's also on the VRChat Discord. He's really helpful. He, says this usually works. No, it does. So 0.45 is typically a good enough scale to at least get you close. So you look at it now that's a lot closer to where it needs to be. Now you can either adjust the height of her or the height of this, depending on how accurate you want it to be. It's a fictional character. Accuracy is questionable. So point, see, we're going to do 0.1, 0.2. We want to see the ball right in front of our face. Alright. Now, look at it. And it is off center. Now that is because she is off center in her model. And that means we're going to encounter problems because you saw how I moved it earlier. That's going to cause problems. We're going to go to this. That's the wrong way. We're going to do this and do negative 0.1. No, so we just want 0.1. That's a little too far. So we're going to do 0.09. That's nice and close. I'm not too worried about this model being perfect, but that's a little too far to the left still. 0.08 would probably be better. 0.08. No, that's just made it 8. That's perfect. That's in the middle. So Z, I make this 0.02. People will say put it in front. People will say put it inside of. Some people embed it in the eyes. I put it there because that's where I think it looks good. And if you don't like it, well, put it where the hell you want. It's your model. So now this model is done. You need to make sure that you have this set to female. Make sure these are for custom animations. If you have some you've already had made, you just want to upload them in there, you can. You select them. Oh, lip sync, you can auto detect, but I don't know how well that works. You make biasemes, and I'll show you that at the end of the video, because most people just want to make a quick model to throw in there. The next part includes dynamic bones. You're supposed to pay for it. Some people give it to you for free, and God bless those people, because it's like $20 for a simple tool. Now, you've seen where people have their hair swish around. That's called dynamic bones, and the hair swishing around is a nice effect to have. It also lets skirts switch on. We're not going to worry about trying to make that move because I don't even think it has skirt bones and it's so small. Now, I'm not going to teach you about colliders and stuff like that. You can look up a video on dynamic bones by Tupper. He did a good job. That's how I learned how to do mine. I'm not good with colliders and stuff. Colliders, they keep making it where you can like move your hand and you can like pick up your hair and swish it around, and you can move your skirt, and you can make it where the skirt won't clip through your legs when you sit down in the chair, stuff like that. And we're going to look at this. I'll go over here, and you see there's tutorial, which is the character that lets me move her around freely. So, you have armature, which is a skeleton, and that starts bringing out the whole hip. And the body is the mesh. That's the whole thing. So we're going to the hips, down. Just click that for now. And we want to move up towards our head. So spine, chest. Now, we can make jiggly breasts, but I'm not going to. You can figure that one out, because I'm not here to make people have boners. Alright, front hair 1. Front hair 2. Front hair 3. We don't care about any of the front hairs, because those won't move anyway. You have to actually do more involved stuff. And they're so small that making them move won't add much of effect. It'll just be kind of like, you know, it's not needed. You need the bigger stuff, you know, the stuff that makes more sense. So we're going to take this hair, and if you look at this, remember the add component thing we did? We're going to do that again. This time, we're going to type in dy, it's dynamic bone. Click on it. You know, you have this. Now, this is a root. This is what you added the component to this. We want to drag this into the root. Now, only one thing has to be root, and that's what everything else is connected to. Since this ponytail or pigtail or twin tail, but it's only one tail, is connected to the whole thing, and it's just like, you know, just fucking duct pinned onto the head. You can do it with this. With skirts, you'd have to make a separate hip bone and do it off of there, but like I said, you can watch the video on dynamic bones if you want. I'm just doing simple stuff. And we're gonna make this update rate 90. It's what most headsets run at. And we're gonna click on. Now we're gonna hit play. Now you can test things in play, but if you hit this play button and do work, and then you're like, oh, the play button's on, you hit it, all that work disappears for the most part. There's certain things stay, but like all the work with dynamic bones, out the window. So let's say you spend like an hour in here getting hair just perfect, and you don't remember the values. You don't fuck yourself. So we're gonna hit this. It opens game. You don't care about that. Click back on scene up here, and you'll see. No, we want to move her to see how the hair moves. So we're gonna hit click on tutorial. Grab this. Switch around. Now that looks strange. It's Jesus Christ. It's not quite right. So yeah, click back. This is the most tedious thing, clicking back and forth the whole time. You want to click on this. Now I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. Let's turn down damping. Damping is what slows things down when it's in motion. So if you have a lot high damping, it'll slow itself down really quick. And we're going to turn the elasticity down really low. Elasticity is how quick it snaps back to where it needs, is where it started at. Stiffness is a stiffness between bones. I'm actually going to put that about there. And do a curve. Now the curves, you can pick different ones. These curves allow you to, so like this one, as it goes on, it gets stiffer, and that's to prevent like a super whip effect at the end of it, because you don't want to like whip it around everywhere and just looking retarded. So click on that, and then we're gonna make the inertia real high. It's let's try 0.76. Inertia is it's inert. I think it does not. I keep saying inertia, but it's probably just means inert, and that's how much force it takes to make it move around. So now that looks more like hair. Now it's going fucking insane. It's because we need to turn up damping. Because now it doesn't want to slow down whenever it starts moving. So, we'll click on hair left. We're going to turn damping up just a little bit. Hit on her again, and then move her. That looks more like hair. Now it's going through her arm, and that's what colliders would do. That would keep that from happening. But you know, I think it doesn't happen that often in VRChat. Like, it does, but like if you move it back and forth a lot. But in general, I think it looks okay. There's actually a collider on the ground. I don't know where that came from, but you know, I think it just makes it. So we're gonna get out of play mode, and we're gonna go ahead and put these where they belong. So we're gonna have our stiffness up a little bit, make it this curve. Put damping up a little bit, elasticity down to almost nothing. Stiffness is where it is, and then inertia 0.76. And we should be good. Now we hit play. Get out of the game, go back to scene. Click on her. And switch around. That looks about right. I'm happy with that. It's kind of weird at the end of it, but for all intents and purposes, it works. Because there's not a bone in that second strand, but there's a second strand there. So we're going to say that's good enough. Personally, I would like it to be a little better and not be a complete crap model. But this is, it's telling you, once you look at this, you can watch this video and learn how to do what I've done with this model. This is a simple model. It doesn't have eye tracking, which means you'll look at other characters. So like if someone was, you probably walk past people and you've seen their eyes follow you. That's called eye tracking. It just lets the eyes move around. It doesn't have visemes, which is your mouth moving when you speak. And it doesn't have, I don't think it has any facial expressions that you can activate through VR. But everything else works. So it's like as basic as you can go for a VRChat avatar. Except for the hair. You know, that's nice to have. You can play around with these things for hours and just go through all sorts of different fucking configurations and all sorts of things to make them different and better. But I'm going to call that a day. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to load this up in VRChat, and it's going to look like garbage. Because I messed up, and this line is not in the middle. There's a chance I can get lucky, and it'll work, but I think the animations might be broken because of the fact that they're not centered. But we're going to do VRChat SDK, show build control panel. This avatar will not perform well in many systems. This is what happens when you go over 10,000. And lower arm is not a first shot up arm. That's a problem with this model of MICU. If just talks about how you might have problems with forearm rotations. When you spin your arms around, it might start looking weird and just not quite right. And so that's fine. Let's see, those are warnings. They're not like, you know, alerts. Hit build and publish. It's gonna say future proofing. This is part of the system. I guess you could turn that off, but I'd rather have a model that lasts more than a week with the how the speed updates are going. And we wait. This takes a long time. Your computer speed, and on top of that, it's the speed of the servers currently and your network speed to have to go through this. So you see it's going away. This will do some other stuff. And watch up here. After this finishes, you'll see up here it'll change. Alright, so now let's see this. It says you can't do anything while it's running. That's because It's kind of cool. This is where you name your avatar. Put in a name. Tutorial. Description. Just test. And you click it. Yeah. Now this is for if like you make like it with like titties. If you make it where like I don't know when it like blows up and blood goes everywhere. These two. And then other not safe for work. Just in general not a great model. And then you say that that's all right and that you're allowed to upload this. Now technically I don't have the rights for this. Well, I do actually. On DeviantArt it said you can use it and edit it however you want. But if you don't have the rights, I mean, go ahead and ask for them, I guess. I mean, most people aren't going to, and most people will tell you yes. I mean, of course, if they say no, you can technically just do whatever you want because you don't care, but, you know, it's nice to ask. Make sure you actually have the rights. It's just something VRChat has to put there so they don't get sued by Cartoon Network because somebody put fucking chowder in the game. So hit upload. And it's going to future-proof for the second time, and this is going to take the longest. And it doesn't take super long. It's not YouTube video upload long, but it is some time. So we wait. Now, the test these things, they're really easy to make if you have a desktop, but you get a little more complicated when you use VR. So if you use a VR headset, you're going to have to make sure all your fingers and your forearms and all your movements work, your full body, your crouching. Usually it's fine, but you know, things happen and they mess up. And it's done. Okay, so if you want to see that it's done, go ahead and click on this. Oh, Jesus Christ. There. Manage. And you'll see that tutorial now exists on the server. So we're going to hop into VRChat real quick. Hopefully this doesn't cause OBS to have an aneurysm. Because that happens sometimes. Close Unity real quick. Yeah, we're still good. And we're going to make sure this model works. Hopefully the VRChat servers are up. If they're not, I can't show you in a mirror how it looks. I'm actually curious myself what happens when you offset your model off of the center. I'm actually really curious about what that's going to look like. That'll be kind of funny. Sorry for the silence, you know, throat hurting and everything. And if I sound weird, I just took a cough drop in my mouth, so. Alright, now we're standing here. Okay, I'm short. Let me fix this. Let's load up our new avatar. So this is the one we just used. We'll hit change. And, okay, so everything looks okay as of now. I can't see any obvious things. Let's click on let's go to the avatar hall. And hey, it looks like it doesn't matter. As long as you're, oh god, look at the straps. This is part of the shoulder movement, but, oh god. So that's something you, you might be able to fix. But, yeah, this model works. So, that's how you get one in. Like I said, you don't have to do the hair part. If you don't have dynamic bones, you can't really. Let's use cloth and things like that. But this works. Oh, you see the hair's clipping in the body. Oh no. But you know, this is as simple as it gets. Like, let's see. This model actually has the same base as this model right here. And so it has like the same mouth problem, except this one was center lined. And this one, look, if it has the eye blinking, and it has the look. If you look at yourself in a mirror, your like eyes don't know what to do. And so, but if I was like, look at this guy, and if he looks at me, my eyes will follow him. And so, you know, that's how you do it. Things about height is you gotta be careful. There's a minimum limit. Like, this is pretty close to the minimum you can make a character height. And if the hair is really crazy on this, but I kind of like it. And then this is nowhere close the maximum, but this is going to showcase some issues. If you look at this guy, you'll see how his tunic just kind of goes through, and you see I'm like hunched over. It's because I'm looking down all the time, and if I honestly look straight, I look normal. But the thing is, when you're this big, you're always kind of hunched over, looking down. And if you don't have VR, you can't really fix that. So, you know, but these models work. This one came in just the way I did in the tutorial, and oh Jesus, and this one was done exactly the way I showed in the tutorial. Everything was the same, pretty much. The hair is different, but you know. But yeah, that's the tutorial. You know, I'm gonna get the fuck off of here, and oh fuck, I need to teach you guys one last thing. Let's get out of this game. Okay, Blender, cats. You need to learn one more thing. So you saw that one had eye movement, and you might want eye movement. It might be something you want. I'm going to bring in another model that I'm gonna work on later. Fuck off. Okay, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do later, so we can do a whole nother model. So, show you different types of models. This is another small model. I'm going to cats, import model. I'm going to go to desktop, models, and then back to the nano pack, and we're going to do I'm going to do Goonie. I'll show you that at the very beginning. Now, she starts out with only 1,144 tries. This is a very happy number to the devs of VRChat. They love this number because it's really easy on the game. If somebody has a potato computer, they can see you and no one else because you have so little tries. And it's just a neat looking model to begin with. So we're gonna hit Alt-H, make sure there's nothing hiding under here. Skeleton's really weird. Alt-H. I'm gonna do this real quick. So fix model, and the model's fixed. We're going to go to translate, shape. Bones should be done, yeah, materials, and mesh. Alright, so that's all been translated to English. You know, for us English speaking people out there. If we hide the body, you can see the skeleton's much more easy to look at. Now, I'm going to teach you how to do eye seams and eye look and things like that. This is something that's not required. Oh, I wonder if eye seams would work with this character. It's got such a small mouth. Let's actually check that real quick. Shape keys. The mouth does work. That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but it kind of is. Oh, Jesus. Oh, everything works. That's kind of cool. So, I wonder if there's any funny ones. A laugh. There you go. Tooth and eyes. I don't know what that does. Nani? Oh, okay, it's one of those. And you can actually set these to be like whatever you want them to be. Like you can just have that be the main thing. If you want, just walk around look like that all the time. But we're gonna do eye look. So eye tracking. This is you want to make sure your bones are correct for the right bones for these, and this is closing your eyes. This is blinking. So these ones are set up in a way where blinking is the only blink there is. It's for both eyes. So we're gonna hit blink. We're just gonna slap that on both of them, just cause you know, might as well. And then we're gonna go to testing. And I can't start because I didn't create it, so you gotta hit create. So now that it exists, now we're gonna test it. So this lets us move things. Now you have to make sure you stop it when you're done. But up. Oh, test rotation. You gotta do it and then click a button. It's kind of weird. Test rotation. Test rotation. So it looks left and right. This is up and down. It's kind of weird because she's like really small. Make me make the movement range a little higher. That might be better. Now let's test blinking. So when she blinks, her eyes go to disappear, and when she unblinks, when she opens her eyes again, it comes back pretty normally. but that might work, I guess. Stop by testing. Let's go back to creation. Let's look at lower lid. What are we on? Left. Lower lid left. Oh, okay. They have left and rights. Lower lid right. So we're gonna go to blink left, blink right. All right. Now let's just create eye tracking. Hit test. Start eye testing. Let's blink. It still does the same thing, but it'll be animated, so it'll like go up and down, and so it'll just kind of disappear. I don't like it. So, I mean, if you want, you can stop by testing, go back to the creation. Let's look at what's wink do? Let's wink, and then let's do wink right. Let's try that, and then lower lid. Basis just means going back to normal. That's just nothing. That's like the base. So we're gonna hit create eye tracking, testing, start testing, test. There we go. That looks a little better, I think. Yeah. No, please. Thank you. And yeah, we're gonna go with that. Eye tracking is now done. It's been created. You don't have to mess with it anymore. So we can close that. Visemes. So you have to find. I don't really mess with these too much, but there's the body mesh. It's just the whole character as a. Am I in edit mode? Yeah, I am. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm in this mode. I guess it's fucking things. Why can I select singular bones? What's going? Oh, it's because I have a menu open, I think. So these are the new eye bones that just got created. So we're gonna. Jesus, this is getting tedious. What mode am I in? Man, fuck pose mode. I'm in object mode. There we go. Go to Visemes and you know. I'm gonna go with what's here. If you look at your, and there. So we can actually do that. Let's do that real quick because it's probably a good idea. Go down to. Where's my mesh? It's missing. There we go. Mesh, and you look at Alright, aw is this one. So we look what aw does. So it should be like which it is. There is, I think it's supposed to be like it's the ch sound like ch. Yeah, it looks pretty right. And then we need to go to your, which is this one, which is supposed to be the O. So O. So yeah, those all work. Those are correct. We're gonna hit create Visemes. Now, as far as I know, I don't actually know how to correctly apply these Visemes, but they exist. Bone parenting is for making skirts and stuff like that. I don't know how to use it. There's a video that tells you exactly how it works. This optimization. Now this is all in one texture file. If it was multiple, you would go to optimization, and you would click Atlas, and you would basically you do material, and you combine them all into one. Or you use Atlas to do it, and you can do texture size. You know, just change things around. I usually go with medium, 2048 for this, and then you would target the mesh body and make all the materials one. So it makes it where it runs a bit smoother. It looks a bit smoother. But as for that, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope my fucking jumbled together last minute excuse of a tutorial was good enough for you to learn something. How fucking long is this anyway? Just tell me. This is over an hour long? Jesus Christ. Wow, well, that's how the process works. I'm going to stop this now.